All right, people. So I had a little bit of technical difficulties there. Sometimes, for whatever reason, my phone doesn't want to pick up my microphone, so I have to turn it off and reset. But I have reset it, and I'm back here to make this video once again. But I was talking about how how some people don't want to talk about voter fraud, election theft, whatever you want to call it. And they don't even talk about it because maybe they don't believe people are that corrupt that they're going to do that. I think the normal person thinks the average politician is a little corrupt, but they don't really think that they will rig an election, steal an election. They don't think that people will assassinate people for political reasons. Because why? Because it's, even though it's happened all over the world, even though the rigging of elections has happened all over the world, they want to believe it didn't happen here. Somebody says, "Did you see Hillary's poop right into her A's briefcase today at that rally?" I did not see that because I am at school, but I'll have to check that out. Um, there's definitely a lot of shit coming out of Hillary's mouth. But no, I did miss that. I know her aide Huma had a big fucking problem there with her husband Wiener. Sending nude pictures of himself. But of course you don't hear anything about that in the media because I don't really care. Somebody said she may piss herself right to the White House. Yeah, if she survives that long, I mean, it looks like she's gonna fucking drop dead anytime. But like I was saying with Huma, if this was Trump and his aide, this story would be all over the news. But since it's Hillary, it's a non-issue pretty much. But I'm a libertarian, so it's not like I'm gonna attack Huma over that or Anthony Weiner. Somebody says she's got tons of adult diapers. Yes, all those depends. But like I was saying, she will attempt to steal the election if it is possible. If they see a scenario where they could rig the voting to steal the election, they will definitely do that. Hillary Clinton has lied so much. She's been so corrupt. Look at the Clinton Foundation, taking bribes in return for favors. You don't think that she would steal this election? Of course she would. I mean, look at all the scandals she's been over. Benghazi. The email scandal number 2. Email scandal number 3. Email scandal number 4. There's a ton of email scandals now. So she would definitely, the Democratic establishment would definitely try to steal the election. And voter fraud is very easy to do. All you have to do, and even mainstream news covered this, it takes like 10 minutes, and all you got to do is purchase like a $15 device. Somebody said, listen, pretzel face, how about we go get pie face tonight? You and me, liver lips night on the town. I'm actually in school right now, so that's not going to happen tonight. I got late night classes tonight, so and then I got early morning. Get this, I got last class ends at 9:15 tonight, and then I got an 8 a.m. class tomorrow morning. So chances of me, going out tonight are about 0%. But anyway, Hillary corrupt. She will try to steal the election, and Trump's been talking about that. And look at the evidence. Look at Bernie. They stole the election from Bernie, so they're going to try to steal it from Trump as well. And now Trump is surging in the polls. Even in some, he's pulling ahead, or he's neck and neck. We still have the 3 debates. We still have the emails that are going to be released by Assange. So, I think they're going to try to pull out all the stops. They're going to go all in, and it's us Americans' job to hold their feet to the fire. And if we look at the polls and we see a big swing in polls or exit polls, that's another thing. Trump has been trying to get volunteers to watch the polls, to make sure nothing corrupt happens. And that's the thing. We have to get exit pollsters out there to, and if there's a big swing in the exit polls, that means it's probably rigged. So we have to hold their feet to the fire. We have to make sure that they don't rig it. And we have to make that a big issue in this campaign. And Trump has been doing a great job of doing that, making, election fraud, election theft a big issue in this campaign. And the fact that, yes, it could be stolen. You know, if a city is run by Democrats, then there's a big possibility that it could be stolen. People, you know, in the world of politics, it's a very cutthroat world. People will be killed if they, you know, if they do something that isn't favorable to a politician. I mean, people might not want to believe that, but it's true. You know, political assassinations are a thing, people. I mean, look at tons of people. Like, look at just JFK. So yes, I mean, it's a cutthroat business, and you know, I wouldn't put anything past the Clintons. You know, for the expense just for them to get in office, they will do anything to you know, Hillary. Even though, I mean, Hillary, look at her, she's like a fucking zombie walking around. She's falling down. She's being fucking you know, injected with like fucking tranquilizer darts or whatever the fuck your doctor's carrying around. She's having, you know, she's like shaking her head on television like this. I mean, it's fucking crazy. I don't even know if she's gonna make it to the fucking. I mean, I would not be surprised if she just drops dead before this election is even over. There's no way she's gonna make it for. You know, I would have a hard time believing she's even gonna make it 4 or 8 years in office. So, somebody said the female Bob Backlund. No. Bob Backlund is in way better shape than her. I mean, are you kidding me? Bob Backlund, you know, he's like lifting Darren Young up. You know, Hillary is, her health is in the shit. I mean, like I said, she can't even walk up a fucking flight of stairs. She's had blood clots, concussions. She's on all these medications and shit that aren't good for you. Her health is not looking good. But back to the topic of voter fraud. Abdullah the Butcher, then, yes, Abdullah the Butcher. But back to the topic of voter fraud. You know, then, you know, the Clinton machine will spin it like, oh, well, the Russians are influencing our elections. You know, see, they're trying to attach Trump and Putin and say, well, the Russians are influencing our elections in favor of Trump, which is totally false because Trump and Putin have no relationship together. You know, they've never met in person. So how the fuck, you know, there's no evidence. You know, they like to call us conspiracy theorists. The conspiracy theory of voter fraud, the conspiracy theory of the emails, the conspiracy theory. No, I'm just going off of facts. All I'm saying is this election has a great possibility of being stolen when it's so easy to hack the machines. It's been done before. The Democratic Party is corrupt as hell. Hillary Clinton is corrupt as hell. She's done many corrupt things, many illegal things. She's lied numerous times. So it's not far-fetched to believe this election could be rigged in favor of the Democrats. So, but yet I'm called a conspiracy theorist. No, the real conspiracy theorists are the Democrats trying to attach Trump and Putin and make it seem like, oh, you know, Putin and Trump are, you know, in bed together. They have no. That's fucking bullshit. That's fucking bullshit because there's no evidence to back that conspiracy theory up. That's a true conspiracy theory. And it's ironic. You know, a lot of the shit the Democrats allege against Trump is actually true about Clinton. You know, now you see many of the Democrats attacking Trump's doctor when in fact, again, Hillary is the one with all the health problems. She's the one with her health and the shit. And then you got, again, the Democrats trying to make it seem like Trump and Putin have a relationship together, and Putin's trying to influence our elections, which is, again, true about Clinton because, you know, the whole uranium deal with Clinton and the Clinton Foundation and that, you know, whole clusterfuck right there. The media will never talk about that. You know, it's just, I always talk about the media and how corrupt they are and how much they lie. But you know, but it's got to be talked about because it's so blatantly obvious how much the media is just, you know, they want Clinton to be president. They are so in it for Hillary. It's so obvious. You know, it's so ridiculous. And also, back to the election fraud again. If you look at the polls are being skewed to give the illusion of Hillary is, you know, has this giant lead. You know, there were some polls coming out a few weeks ago. Hillary crushing Trump in the news headlines. This election's over. You know, Hillary wins in a landslide, blah, 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 blah. All this bullshit. All this fucking bullshit. And if you look at the poll statistics, the statistics of the polls, They overpolled Democrats. I was looking at a Reuters poll, and if you combine the number of Republicans and independents polled, it was about equal to the number of Democrats polled. They are so trying to skew the election. In every poll, the number of Democrats highly outweigh the number of Republicans. But if you look at the primary voting this year, there was actually more Republicans voted in it than Democrats. The Republicans had more votes total than Democrats did. So, somebody says Trump sucks. Yeah, here's your typical. Looks like your typical Trump anti-Trumper. Your typical anti-Trumper will just throw out 3-word sentences. Trump's a racist. Trump's a sexist. Fuck Trump. Trump sucks. Trump's a misogynist. Trump's a racist. Trump's a sexist. Trump's a misogynist. Trump's a xenophobic person. All these, yeah, it is typical. How about you try to formulate, I would respect it if you try to formulate an argument. Somebody said, I'm not voting. I honestly wouldn't feel comfortable with either as president. Okay. There are a third party, though. If you don't like Trump, you don't like Clinton. I mean, there are third party options. But, I just see Trump as our best option right now. Trump changes his views every 24 hours. Okay, give me an example of how he changed his views every 24 hours, because, his views are pretty consistent. From what I've been hearing, he hasn't really changed his views too much. But I just think Trump's our best bet. He's going to secure our border. Well, give me an example. Then give me an example of a viewpoint he had changed. And also, too, people think it's bad to change your mind. Trump. Trump is very new to politics. This is, it's not like he's a lifetime politician like Hillary Clinton. So, when he was first running, he might have said something that, he went back on and changed his mind. Like with the Syrian refugees. When we first had this issue, Trump was like, well, we got to accept some in. And then he, realized how it's a fraud and how, ISIS can infiltrate. And he quickly changed his mind. So it's not always a bad thing to change your mind. I've changed my mind on issues. So, people, people can change their mind. So, like I was saying, I think Trump's the best option. He's going to secure our borders. He's going to protect the Second Amendment. He's going to do a lot of, I think, good things. He's not bought and paid for. He doesn't have, he's not like Hillary Clinton where he's being funded by multinational corporations, all this big business, and he's not bought and paid for. So, somebody says, this snake oil salesman says what the people want to hear at the moment. I don't think that's true. I just think he's a real American. He's just like that's his appeal. He's like the common man. I don't think he says shit for I think if you want to talk about somebody who says shit that people want to hear, look at a typical campaign like Hillary Clinton, which I'm sure she's, putting out polls. Everything she said is probably polled for public opinion purposes. Trump's campaign is shoot from the hip, he says what's on his mind. He doesn't have a filter between his mind and his brain. Trump for president, what a joke, common man, what have I been smoking? Well, he is kind of a common man. He hasn't been a career politician. He's not bought and paid for like Hillary Clinton. You could argue he's rich, but okay, he's rich. He's good. He's a successful businessman. That's the kind of thinking I want in this country, a successful businessman. So what if he has billions of dollars? That doesn't mean he can't be like myself. So I think, but that's part of his appeal. He shoots from the hip. Somebody says he did not make his millions. Well, actually, he did make his billions, not millions. He's a multi-billionaire. He inherited... No. He did not inherit $5 billion, you dumbass. He says he got a $1 million loan from his father. And then he turned that into billions of dollars. Now, okay, maybe he inherited some from his father. There's no set amount that you could take that he inherited because it's not out there. But he did not inherit billions of dollars, okay? He made it. Yes, he's had a few bad business deals, but that's every successful businessman has a few bad business deals. No, he did not inherit billions of dollars. He did not. Somebody said it's a whole new ballgame when you get into office. You get handicapped by all the BS. It's crazy. Yes, that is true. You have Congress, and you can't do whatever. You're not a dictator, so. But if Trump could just get done 20 or 30% of what he's saying, I mean, that would be so much better than Hillary Clinton. And I believe a lot of shit as president you could do with, he did not inherit $5 billion, okay? There's no news article that says Trump inherited $5 billion. He has a company called the Trump Organization, where he has made most of his money from. He has not inherited $5 billion, you dumbass. There's no evidence to show that. I have done my homework. I have looked that up because I heard people saying that, and it was a lie. Another lie perpetrated by the media. Trump is a very successful businessman. But like I was saying, there's no doubt that, if he gets into office, Trump, might have a tough time getting things done because there will still be a lot of corrupt elements in the government. But I believe a lot of things he might be able to do by executive action. Like, when it comes to the border, you could build a wall, I believe, by executive action because that's helping to enforce the law. As president, you're really supposed to enforce the law. If somebody says another anti-Trumper says he will not be president. Well, have you looked at the LA Times poll today that shows him up 3 points in the general election? Have you looked at the polls in the swing states, which are, pretty fucking close? Have you realized that there's still 4 debates in the emails about Hillary going to come out? Somebody says build the wall. It's the tunnels he needs to worry about. Hilarious. And somebody asks, is my favorite subject history? Yes, I really am a history guy. I like history. And if you watched Trump's immigration speech last night, you will find that in his immigration plan, he talks about we need to identify technology. We have to use technology that will help us identify the tunnels underground. And he talks more about just building a wall. Building a wall is one part of it, which we need to fix. But we need to build a wall, which will make it much harder for just your common people just looking to walk right across. It'll take a lot more time, and it will help the Border Patrol catch them easier. So a wall is one part. But yes, you need to use technology to help, find intelligence in tunnels and, people looking to maybe fly over, whatever the fuck. I don't know what the fuck they do. But you need to give Border Patrol the tools they need to succeed. And I believe a wall is a big part of, helping the Border Patrol succeed. So, the media will believe all he talks about is build a wall, make America great again. But, I mean, if you look, his policies are very well laid out. They're very detailed, and he's laid out a lot of great policies, a lot of detailed policies on lowering taxes, on destroying ISIS, on fixing our immigration problem, securing our borders. So he's very detailed, I believe, in his in his policies. And some person said they don't want to vote for Hillary or Trump. I understand some of the attacks against Trump. I don't agree with him on everything. Like I found some of his torture statements, to be quite. Somebody says a wall can't stop the migrations through the tunnels. Well, did you just hear what I said? He talks about more than just building a wall, and not everybody comes through tunnels. He said he wants to implement technology to stop the tunnels. Somebody says it's crazy how America welcomed everyone with open arms, and now we have to be vigilant because some take advantage of the freedom. Well, if you look back to Ellis Island, they did screen people for diseases and shit. But yeah, we do have to be vigilant in who we accept in now. We do. And that's what Trump's saying, though. He's not anti-immigrant. He is anti-illegal immigration. We don't want a ton of illegals pouring into our country. And in his immigration speech last night, he said, we want to let in the people who have the best chance of getting here. What do you mean he's anti-immigration? He says he is for legal immigration. He is for illegal immigration. I mean, have you been paying attention for the last year plus? Like I said, in his immigration speech, he said he wants to let in the people who have the best chance of succeeding in our country and assimilating to our country. So he is not he's anti-illegal immigration. And we have to check the people coming in here. Wait, are we just going to let people flow in here? Whoever the fuck now? Somebody said he is now because he is no, he has never said he wants to shut down all immigration and deport Mexicans. So no, he's never been that. Somebody says, I can say this though, I love the fact that he is shaking people's cages. Maybe that's what we need. Yes, I love the fact that he is independent. He's definitely blowing up the establishment. The establishment hates him. So, I mean, even if you're a Democrat or a liberal or a progressive, whatever the fuck you call yourself, you got to be looking at Trump and saying, you know, he's better than George Bush. The Republican establishment hates his ass. And again, if you're a progressive or liberal, well, he's not a neocon at least. He's for free trade. You know, he's against a TPP. He's not bought and paid for like, you know, a lot of Republican and Democrat politicians are. So there are some positives to him. So if you're a liberal, you cannot, you know, you got to admit he does have some things you like about him. And like I said, I think a lot of his appeal is he acts like a common man. He doesn't say, you know, he's not politically correct. He swears. He says, you know, he's a pussy. You know, it's political bullshit. Somebody said maybe we can figure out some more about 9/11. LOL. Yes, Trump was very outspoken about releasing the 28 pages dealing with 9/11. So those have already been released, and they did show Saudi Arabian connections. But you know, I'm not too worried about 9/11 now. I'm more worried about the future going forward. Maybe there's more info on it. I don't know. Really, I haven't done a lot of research on it lately, but yeah, you know, somebody says I'm out. You're full of it. Well, you know, thank you for the comments, but okay, see you later. But yeah, I think Trump's our best choice right now. There's you know, and if you're, you know, you could look at third party too. Like I was saying, you have Gary Johnson, Libertarian, and Jill Stein, your Green Party. You know, Jill Stein's too progressive for me, too liberal. You know, she's more of a Bernie Sanders type. And Gary Johnson, I would like him, except I think he's a fake libertarian. I mean, look at him. He's for the TPP. His VP is like basically a Democrat. So, you know, I would tell you to support Gary Johnson maybe. But I think Gary Johnson's pretty fucking bad to be. Somebody says they're open ears whether I agree with you or not. Well, thank you for that. I appreciate the comments and you listening to me. I definitely appreciate that. So, but I would not vote for Gary Johnson because he just seems like a fake libertarian to me. Again, his VP is totally fucking Democrat. So, but yeah, you know, I just think Trump's the best choice, and he's not bought and paid for by, you know, Goldman Sachs or some big corporation. So he's going to do what he thinks is best for America. Nobody can buy him because he's a billionaire, and he's getting all his funding from like $10 donations online. There's no big companies funding him. So he is way better than Hillary Clinton, and yeah, I think it's, you know, that Clinton is like the most corrupt ever, and Trump's the opposite, pretty much. I mean, he, like I said, I understand some of the arguments against him. Somebody says next time you talk wrestling, I'll be here. LOL. I can't really. It's hard to make a video about wrestling when I haven't seen the latest episode of SmackDown. That's the thing. I have to watch SmackDown tonight, or, you know, sometime It's not going to be tonight because my last class, like I said this earlier, is like at 9:15, and then I have a class at 8 a.m. tomorrow morning. So there's no way I'm going to watch SmackDown tonight. So you know, it's hard for me to make a video about wrestling right now. I don't know what to fucking talk about. You know, maybe I'll do a Periscope video later in the week on it. I don't know. You know, I'll try to make a Periscope video later in the week about it. I don't know, but you know, I try to, you know, mix in politics and wrestling. I usually use a Periscope channel just for wrestling, but you know, I have some time now in between class, and I figured I'd make a video on this, create a, you know, discussion. So but I think I'm gonna wrap it up right now because it's been going on for quite a while. But I'll post this to YouTube too if anybody wants to see the full video. So somebody asked, do I have any classes tonight? Yes, I do have. I got my schedule right here. Today was actually the first day of fall classes. So you got Spanish class from 7:30 to 9:17. So that'll be a fun class, right? A 2-hour class. So yeah, 9:17, and then I'll get home about probably about 10 o'clock, and then I got class tomorrow at 8 a.m. So probably have to leave around 7 tomorrow. So that's not going to be fun, waking up early. But that's just how the classes go. That's why I scheduled them. So yeah. But there you go, people. I'm gonna wrap it up now. So if you have any more questions or comments, just put them in right now. But yeah, I guess I'll try to get a Periscope video. I got to do my NXT review too, the last NXT pay-per-view still. So I am a little bit behind, but I mean, just WWE is so much fucking content to watch. It's ridiculous. You're watching hours upon hours of wrestling per week, and it overwhelms you. If you have work or school, I mean, it really does overwhelm you. But there you go, people. There's my thoughts there on original topic was kind of Hillary stealing the election, but kind of got off on some more issues and shit like that. But I appreciate the comments, even from the people who maybe do not support Trump. I do appreciate the comments and the conversation. So there you go, people.